We all know that some events in life shape who we become. For me, it was as a union leader at the Beaconsfield mine tragedy. I saw just how important our fight for workplace safety really is, and I'm more determined than ever to continue helping people.
Yeah, when you're stuck somewhere and you can't get out and you're like a rat in a cage, all you think about is what's happening to my loved ones at home. And when I got home, Rachel said the union has just looked after us like they're kings. Anything we needed, they supplied. Just the interaction with Paul and Bill was phenomenal with my family and Todd's as well. So I already made a perception about Bill before I'd met him. So when I met him, well, he sort of blew them perceptions apart because, he's a really caring person.
Family's important to me. My wife Chloe and I want the best future for our children, and everyone else's too. I was also inspired by my parents. My mum was a modest person, but like all modest people, didn't realise the impact she had upon others. She came from a working class background, but put herself through university through sheer hard work and ability. Because of her, I believe that every child should get a quality education. My dad was a seafarer, but when he and Mum had my twin brother and I, he came ashore to work on Melbourne's docks. He believed everybody deserved a second chance. He believed in people getting a fair go at work. That's something I've devoted my adult life to. I'm proud that I've stood up for better paying conditions for women and men right around the nation, from underground mines to oil rigs, from shearing sheds to factories. A fair go for people is what's driven me.
Yeah, I met Bill quite a few years ago when he was a minister. We were all working to try and get the St Albans railway station put underground. We've had a few deaths at that crossing, and we were campaigning to have that rectified, and he got behind us and helped us and supported us. Together we were lucky enough to get it put underground.
When I was an athlete and playing with the Melbourne Phoenix, he was instrumental in meeting with all the senior athletes of the teams around Australia and getting us on board and forming, the Players Association so that we could have better conditions and pay rates. He's very inspirational. He shows great leadership. He has great leadership qualities. I always think he's a man of his word, so if he says he's going to do something, he certainly follows through and delivers on that.
He's someone who is about achievement. I was so impressed, of course, when he had the Parliamentary Secretary job for disability, and look what he achieved with the National Disability System and the NDS more broadly. That's Bill. Bill has a great capacity to identify issues, to push those issues, and to get an outcome. Bill won't just govern, and I know this in the capacity and the ability that he's got. He won't just govern for part of the country, he'll be governing for everyone, no matter where people come from, no matter what their background. He's inclusive, he brings people with him. Just look at the NDS and you'll see that writ large in many things that he'll do if he has the chance to be Prime Minister, and I believe he'll make an outstanding Prime Minister of this country.
As Parliamentary Secretary, I saw firsthand the midnight anxiety of ageing parents of adult children with disabilities, ageing carers who wondered who would love their children when they no longer could. That's why I fought hard to introduce the National Disability Insurance Scheme. That's why I'm in politics, actually, to make a difference.
I first met Bill back in 1998 with the AWU, and then more predominantly in 1999 when I had a workplace accident. He came to the hospital really because one of these people had been hurt, and he wanted to see if he could help. He visited, didn't seem like as a union representative, but more as a friend. And all he wanted to do and was interested in was my recovery. And he still keeps in touch today just to check to see if I'm okay and to see if my wife's okay. He does a lot of things behind the scenes that people won't see or never hear about, and it's all because he cares for them. He cares for the country because he wants people to succeed in this country. He wants to give them every opportunity to succeed.
876 jockeys have lost their lives in Australia since racing began, and a lot more have been disabled and injured really badly since. Bill was very influential in getting us better pay, safer riding conditions, and obviously just the general welfare of jockeys. Look, I think Bill's a great guy. He helped us out of the goodness of his own heart, and I think his passion is just to help people. So I couldn't speak highly enough of him.
To be Prime Minister of this country, and to be a good Prime Minister, you have to have a broad understanding of the economy and society. and you have to be able to exercise key decisions with a sense of humility and a sense of vision, and you have to be determined, very determined, to achieve fundamental changes in a constructive way. These are skills that I believe that he possesses.
Mr. Abbott is stuck in the past, and everyone knows he's not about to change. But if Mr. Abbott and Mr. Hockey's Liberals win the next election, there will be nothing to stop them doing what they really want to do. They'll cut Medicare, cut hospitals and cut pensions. They will cut schools and cut universities, just as they did in their first and second budgets. Australians don't want big cuts to health, education and pensions. Australians don't want cuts to Medicare, and they certainly don't want $100,000 university fees that will lock young people out of a good education. Do Mr. Abbott and Mr. Hockey not understand this? Or is it just that they don't care? Well, I do care. I will stand up for Australia's future. A Shorten Labor government will be about solutions in health, jobs and education for today and the decades to come. A Shorten Labor government will be about solving future challenges. A Shorten Labor government will advance Australia.
Authorised by G. Wright, ALP Canberra.